Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to see me play your deck, hang out with me in the amazing BoshNRoll community in Discord, access to my lists and sideboard guides before tournaments, book an individual coaching session, or just generally want to support what's going on here, check out the Patreon and YouTube membership options. For the finest Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, use code BoshNRoll for 10% off your order at coalesceapparel.shop. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. If you want to play what I'm playing, use my affiliate link to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com and play any deck anytime on Magic Online with a cardhoarder.com loan account. Thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back for another BoshNRoll video. Today I'm playing Legacy, and at the request of Patreon subscriber King of the Depths, I am playing Sam Murphy's Grixis Tempo Doomsday that she recently made top 8 of the Legacy Pit Open with. I'd like to get this out of the way first because I am speaking to you from the past. I am usually about a week out with my recordings. I'm recording this the morning of Monday, October 10th. You're going to see it Monday, October 17th. And there is a ban announcement announced for later today at the time of my recording. And Expressive Iteration is one of the cards in the crosshairs. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't even know what format it's going to affect. But there's a good chance Expressive Iteration will be banned before I finish playing this league in real time. And we'll all know by then. This will be my last video that I record before that ban takes effect. So if you've been watching my channel for a week at this point, like, hey, why do I keep seeing these Expressive Iterations? That's why. Also, maybe I'm saying this for nothing and it's Legacy, no changes. Good luck out there. But either way, I wanted to get this deck on the channel before it's gone because this is a sweet relic of history, if not a continued metagame player. That out of the way, this deck rules. Later, or last year, maybe earlier this year, Max Dorshin, again, there he is on the channel. Always happy to feature his work because he does so much of it. Max Dorshin just kind of jammed Murktide Regent into a Doomsday list and started exploring this like creature attack plan embedded in a Doomsday deck. At one point, he even had Delver of Secrets in it. And he kind of moved the other direction with Turbo Doomsday, which has been featured twice on this channel, both me playing it and then Max replaying it with me. Really great series. If you missed that, go check it out. Sam continued iterating on this and has reached kind of this insane final form that I love. This is a Grixis, like 4 Baleful Strix, 4 Murktide Regent, 4 days, young Pyromancers in this deck, my god. And the Doomsday package is literally 4 Dark Ritual, 4 Doomsday, Thassa's Oracle. There is no Street Wraith, there's no Edge of Autumn, there's no Ideas Unbound, no Deep Analysis, no Consider. I guess the Cavern of Souls would be considered part of the Doomsday package most of the time, but you can just Cavern on Dragon and go to town. This is about as tight as a Doomsday package can get in a deck. There's 9.5 slots here, if we count Cavern of Souls as half. And the other 50.5 cards are just Grixis Tempo, or Grixis Midrange, kind of. It's not really fair to call this Tempo, because Baleful Strix is not really a Tempo card. Good luck defining Tempo, by the way. If you want to argue about Tempo, take it to the comments. I'd love that engagement for the day. I have never played this deck. I don't really know how fast or slow it's going to be. Like, Turbo Doomsday, if you can turn 1 Dark Rit Doomsday with Force Backup, you just do it. And I'm probably going to do it here too, if I get the window to do that. But you can also see worlds where we just sort of like nickel and dime the opponent with Baleful Strix and Murktide Regent, and then when they run out of juice, go for like a turn 5 Doomsday. That seems totally reasonable and part of the game plan. Expressive Iteration is in this deck, as we discussed, and so is Mystic Sanctuary. So we have these like Delver mid-late game situations where you EI, Sanctuary your EI, Daze, pick up your Sanctuary, EI again, and just grind. I kind of expect fast Doomsday in this league a little bit. I expect a lot of mid-game Doomsdays, and I expect a lot of opponents to just die to our creatures. This list is really interesting because we talked at length about the Shoulder Juke in Max's Turbo Doomsday list, which creates the tension of do you leave in Swords to Plowshares against a dedicated combo deck because you expect Sheoldred? Whereas this deck is straight up, heads up, I am doing both of these things, answer both, good luck, sucker. It's leaning all the way in the other direction where you kind of, instead of on the deck building level, make your opponent decide if they want to be a Swords to Plowshares deck or a Flusterstorm deck, you just make them have both all the time, which is a really interesting take on that, where instead of tricking your opponent into having none, you make them have both. Extreme example in the opposite direction of what Max was doing with the deck we've seen twice on the channel already. As far as making Doomsday piles goes, like I said, there's none of the stuff that really supports a quick Doomsday pile. So we're just using natural cantrips and slow draws to make that happen. Like using fetch lands to manipulate the number of lands or number of cards in your pile. Baleful Strix, Ponder, Brainstorm are all redraws. There's also a really cool line where if you cast Doomsday in the mid game, a bunch of spells will leave your graveyard because you exile all the cards that you don't pick from the Doomsday pile, which can pump a Murktide Regent and just surprise blast for 13. I hope that comes up at least once. And your opponent has to respect all this stuff at once. It's very cool, and I'm looking forward to navigating this on the fly. And the sideboard is just a bunch of interactive stuff, problems for tough matchups. This is all fair in the sideboard. There is nothing that really helps you punch a Doomsday through. I guess you could call Pyroblast that. But in general, we're just slowing down to answer other stuff. Like Hidetsugu consumes all this in this sideboard. That's incredible. I imagine at some point in the league, I'll board out the Doomsday stuff entirely and just become a fair deck. That's probably something I'd want to do if I quick Doomsday in game 1, then just don't have Doomsday and be this creature deck in game 2. I don't know. We're going to be figuring this out on the fly. I could theorize all day, but we won't know until we see it. Let's jump into this league. This is Sam Murphy's Grixis Tempo Doomsday, requested by King of the Depths. Let's go. I'm on the play in game 1. 0 land hand. Let's ship that one. And a little slow and steady Baleful Strix Fatal Push hand. Yeah, easy. Us is Oracle to the bottom. And I'm just going to Pluto Delta and pass. God, I love Grixis control. Just get to do my favorite thing, which is Grixis control. And then also, surprise, it's Doomsday. I'm not going to crack this fetch. In addition to having Brainstorm in my hand, even though I'm likely to cast Baleful Strix, I want to keep this fetch land up for my draw step because I know that Thassa's Oracle is in the mix somewhere. Or it was on the bottom and I didn't want to draw it. So not fetching means you're not going to draw it. Now, interesting question. I would rather have Volcanic Island for basically my whole deck, except for Doomsday, which is a card that I want black sources for. I'm going to go with Volcanic Island. And I picked up a Daze here. That's nice. Both main deck Fatal Pushes present in my hand currently. I'm thinking this is Sneak and Show. They're showing Izzet colors, but they're also doing it in a way that's hasn't added to the board at all. Makes me suspicious. There is a main deck Pyroblast. There's no discard in this deck, so I'm going to Brainstorm off of Underground Sea right now. I don't want to get rid of these Fatal Pushes. Oh, my main deck Pyroblast. Look at me. Put back push, and here's this Oracle again. Like I said, once you shuffle your deck, it's gone from the bottom. I'm going to put those two back, and I have Daze and Pyroblast to fight a Show and Tell. Expressive Iteration. Is this my fight? I mean, I can Daze this pretty cleanly. Yeah, I do want to Daze that. If you're going to hang that out to get dazed, I'm going to do it. I no longer think this is Show and Tell, but it could be like the no Delver deck. It's like moving really slowly, but playing EI and hitting land drops. I'm going to fetch Badlands at this point. Now I have my triple black available if I find the Doomsday, and might regret shuffling away the Fatal Push. We'll see what comes out of this deck. And then black-blue for another Strix. Am I getting main deck Pyroblasted here? Indeed I am. Yeah, if they care about that, I suspect this is the Delverless Murktide deck. Oh, I've been lied to. We're about to get Minsc and Boot into the dirt. Shit. Okay, got me good with the days. This is just some rug mid-range deck. It could be the max deck. And I don't have black up. Oh, I blew it. Now they get to chuck their boo at my Strix, where a fatal push would have cleaned the Minskin boo out. Sad times. Daddy Mercs, never sad to see you though. Okay, blue, leaving up Pyroblast and Fatal Push. Okay, that's one way to tangle with Minskin boo. And I can kill this boo if I need to and push it. Do I want to push here? I think I do. Guess I don't need to push now. Like, yeah, go ahead. You have a 4/4. If they have like Stubborn Denial, they got me. God, white mana too. This is the full 5-color special. I'm so dead. I'm gonna Fatal Push boo at least. Try to take some pressure off. I need to draw Doomsday. That's what needs to happen at this point. Like, it's cool that I haven't out at all. Light from the Loam. Oh my god. Oh, we don't see black. I guess this is just 4 colors. Is this my deck? Thassa's Oracle. Looking at this card for the 3rd time. I guess I just have to pass, and can I even win with Doomsday anymore? If they attack me to 19, then I Doomsday to 8, or I Doomsday to 9, then they attack me for 7, and then I'm at 2, and their hand needs to be literally nothing. Yikes. Yeah, their 5-card hand has to contain only things that lose to Pyroblast. Right, Doomsday off the top, let's go. Brainstorm, this could still be Doomsday. It is Doomsday, okay. I'll put back Thassa's Oracle and Young P, and then go for Doomsday with Pyroblast backup. I'm trying. Okay, let's make a single turn pile, which I'm not sure exactly how to do that with this deck. Cavern of Souls is involved. Thassa's Oracle is involved. That's easy. And Baleful Strix is in my hand. That draws a card. Yeah, not having Edge of Autumn here is a beating. Also, just being dead to this hamster is a beating. My opponent can also attack me for 4, then draw 4 cards, put me to 1, and then I have to fight through that too. Expressive Iteration clears a lot of cards. Do I have the mana to do all this, is the question. If I draw Expressive Iteration, I can blue-red. There's 4 cards left in my deck. I can blue-red, EI, 2 of them away. Then there's another card on the bottom. Yeah, EI looks at 3 cards, but only clears 2 out of the deck. I don't want to lose the Swords to Plowshares. I have 6 total mana, including the Cavern. So I can EI into Strix. That gives up on Pyroblast. Yeah, if I have to Pyroblast at any point, I just lose. Minskin Boo, dealing a lot of damage quickly. On a stable board, I would feel much better about all this. But obviously, that's not what we have. So draw for turn, it's EI. EI, see 3 cards. Put them on the bottom. Strix, draw. Or EI, if EI is just like Ponder, that clears more cards than Strix does for the same mana. I clear 2 cards instead of 1. So draw for turn, 4 cards left. EI, 2 cards left. Ponder, 1 card left. Ponder, 0 cards left. I have to EI into 2 Ponders. I don't think I get Force of Will in this pile. Ponder. And then draw EI. EI into Ponder. Put Cavern on the bottom. Okay. Or does EI even make sense? If I draw for turn and just cast Ponder, I'm basically spending 2 mana to clear 2 cards instead of 1 mana to clear 1 card. I draw for turn, 4 cards left, cast Ponder, 3 cards left, cast Ponder, 2 cards left, cast Ponder, 1 card left. I think that's mostly the same thing. All right, so if I do that, do I get my Pyroblast back? Ponder, 3 cards, Ponder, 2 cards, Ponder, 1 card. I think I need to clear 2 cards here. Okay. This is the pile I'm making. Cavern, Oracle, Ponder, EI. And I'm just at a lightning bolt anyway. I might have done a ton of work for no reason at all. Let's find out. Mystic Sanctuary buying back Pyroblast also just tanks my whole squad. Yeah, this deck does need to use blue spells post EI or post Doomsday, which Turbo Doomsday doesn't. Like, part of the plan in that deck is once Doomsday resolves, don't give them anything that they can counter. Yeah, we're just dead to this Pyroblast. Oh, and they have more spells. That's the second boo to throw the hamster. Sure, you got me. Minskin boo. I have been hooked up by Sam with her upcoming article that will be out by the time you all see this. I'll have to check where it's coming out. I'll make sure it's linked in the video description. But I have been provided with a matchup guide for her recommendation. We want our Pyro and Hydroblast in. That makes sense. Keeping Minskin Boo off the table would have made that game pretty trivial. Opposition Agent. They are pretty reliant on fetch lands. I feel that. The Cars for Uro. Wow, -4 Force of Will. This is really exciting. I guess they have a ton of Pyroblasts. And Strix, they're not really attacking with creatures except for Boo, which just smears a Baleful Strix, and same reason Fatal Push leaves the deck. Right, her assessment of this matchup is that it's positive, which I do believe, like, based on, like, if I could have cleared that Minskin Boo, I think we're in a much easier world. That thing did all of the damage that game. And that turn where I left up blue-red instead of black-red probably cost me the game. I would like to play first. This hand does not cast any of the spells that are in it, so I'm going to mulligan. This one I'm in for. I'm going to keep, and I'm going to send Murktide to the bottom. Like, I'm just a ways away from using that. And Volcanic Island Pass. Showing Hydroblast. Ponder. I think I would rather Ponder now than stick Unlicensed Hearse, which may or may not matter. Doomsday Dark Ritual. Hello. Okay. I will take those cards and pass the turn once again. Now I have this cool thing I can do, which is cast Young Pyromancer and then Doomsday Dark Ritual. Oh, Brainstorm in response, sure. Young PZ resolves. Get at least one elemental out of the deal here while casting Doomsday. Oh, they have a response. And this is that spot where it's like, do you have Swords to Plowshares or like what? Brainstorm in response. Okay. They're on Force of Will or Bust at this point. Dark Ritual Doomsday, which also generates a PAL, and it just resolved. Let's make a pile. Cavern of Souls, Thassa's Oracle are required. This deck could have Endurance in it. It might have Dress Down. That's not super popular, but it's a thing. I do like using Expressive Iteration to push through the deck. There's no Force of Wills in my deck anymore. Can I beat Endurance? Can I make it a pile that just doesn't lose to Endurance? Just take a slow pile and not lose to that card. Unlicensed Hearse helps because I can exile my own graveyard. I'm trying to build these piles myself and not rely on Sam's article. After my session with Max, where really just figuring this out, working on my skills here. I don't have any cantrips in my pile currently. Baleful Strix can redraw without going to the graveyard, technically. Thassa's Oracle Cavern have to be in the bottom somewhere. Expressive Iteration opens me up to Endurance, but it doesn't have to because I have Hearse. What am I trying to hit here? How quick can I do this? If I Expressive Iteration into Strix in hand plus land, do I want a basic island in the pile too? Look at this pile for a second. So I draw Expressive Iteration, EI into island Strix, put Strix in hand, play island, play Hearse. That's my insurance for Endurance. And then next turn I draw Oracle and I can Baleful Strix into Cavern, and this pile beats Endurance. Pile does not beat Dress Down. I could put a Pyroblast in here instead of the island, but then I'm not using all my mana. I'm going to do it this way. Cavern, Oracle, Strix, Island, EI. Okay, go. I'm going to pass the turn with 3 mana up. And the cool thing about this whole line is none of it is really important that it resolves. I could just take it slow. Okay, Strix in hand. Oracle to the bottom, Exile Island. Exile Island, one of the gimmicks on Survivor. Unlicensed Hearse. See if I can get this in before the Endurance. Because if I attack first, the Endurance block and hang out. Maybe I just don't attack. Like, I'm not winning this game through combat. So, that's a no. I'm just not going to attack. Fetching in my end step. That is not Endurance mana. Allowing my creature irrelevant. And now I play my Baleful Strix. Draw a card. Cavern on Merfolk. And from an empty library, go fish. Okay. They had the dress down. That's not a card that... I mean, it's a card that gets played, but it's not a card that I've seen in every list. Maybe I should have built a slightly slower pile that included Pyroblast. Alright. Fine. You got me. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and every other format you'll see on this channel. They have multiple customizations so you can view your deck how you want. Text view, stacks, grid, custom grouping by type, subtype, color, light mode, dark mode. However you want to see your deck, they can provide it for you. My favorite feature is you can choose your set printing, make the deck look exactly how you want it to. The deck screen features expandable sections that show you what tokens your deck makes, your recent change history to the deck, stats about mana curve and opening hand distribution, mana cost distribution. You can deal out sample hands and even play test the deck. Island Ponder. You know I'm keeping this one. This site has everything. Follow me on Moxfield.com to keep up with decks I'm playing for the channel and what I'm up to in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw in round 2 with a Dark Ritual that doesn't feed anything, but I have Force Blue card, Ponder, and a plan. Let's go. My opponent said in the chat that they're currently watching one of my videos while we play, and then they go Tundra Ponder. This is a person with good taste. Did not shuffle their library. They're also skilled at casting Ponder. Force of Will. Okay. If I find Doomsday, I am ready to go in with Force backup. Hey, I found Doomsday. That's the thing I said. Would I rather have Brainstorm or Strix in my hand post Doomsday? Strix is a raw card draw, but Brainstorm sees more cards quickly. I think raw cards are more important to this build than seeing more cards quickly because we don't have the shufflers. I'm going to put Strix in my hand now. That gives me Force Blue card. And then I can Dark Ritual Doomsday with double Force and work my way through that. I'm getting Wastelanded, sure. If this is Shark still, that's the one and done Wasteland. That means I'm going to have to put some lands in the pile. I can live with that. Another Underground Sea, and then Dark Ritual Doomsday. Let's go. Bang! Alright, Doomsday resolved with double Force in hand. If I don't figure this one out, it's completely on me. Oracle and Cavern. Always in the pile. Easy 2. Then we just got to figure out 3. I would like to... Okay, a thing that Max taught me in our session was just putting Basic Island in the pile. And then between Basic Island and Cavern, I'll have 2 mana when I get to Oracle, even if that takes a minute. And I can also cast the Strix in my hand off of that island. I kind of want another blue card in the stack. Like, if I play Strix, I'm going off Force of Will, but if I draw another blue card, then I'm back on Force of Will. Daze gives me another layer of protection. Ponder can get through the stack faster if they don't wasteland me. So I draw Island, cast Baleful Strix, draw Ponder, still holding up Force Blue card. And then I need to get one more card through my deck somehow. I guess I could put Scalding Tarn on top, and draw that next turn, fetch for Island, instead of just playing Island. That gets a card out of my deck faster. Okay. Oh, that also shuffles my whole stack. That doesn't help. Nope, nope, nope. Off it, off it. Put the Scalding Tarn back. Yeah, that messes up everything that's under what I'm setting up here. And finding the Ponder second is important. Could just put a Daze in here. Okay, draw Island, 4 cards left. Cast Strix, 3 cards left. If I have to force twice, then I don't have Ponder anymore. And then I draw and I have 3 cards left. That's the mystery card that I'm trying to fill right now. Maybe just stacking multiple Ponders is the way, because that gets through the deck faster anyway. Okay. I'm doing this with Cavern, Oracle, Ponder, Ponder, Island, and ship it. I can also just play Mystic Sanctuary tapped if I want to do that. It is a land, technically. Strix, get in there. Let's get through this pile. Still force blue card up. Fetching in the end step. What do you got for me? Ooh, Standstill plus Crack It just decks me. They have to force a Standstill here if they have that. That is a line in the Standstill decks that exists. Prismatic Ending, sure. That doesn't matter. That is a Devotion off of Oracle that I otherwise could have used. 2 cards left in my deck. Casting one of these Ponders makes 1 card left, which I can draw next turn. Do not shuffle the library. I still have force blue card up, and my library is about to be empty with Oracle, Cavern, double force backup. Predict and Standstill are both kind of annoying, but those are cards that I have these Force of Wills for. I don't care about Narset anymore. Teferi I probably force because I lose the force anyway. So if they tap out for Teferi, what could they even have? Okay, they're just passing the turn. Fascinating. Cavern of Souls on Merfolk. Then a little empty deck, Uncounterable Oracle. And we got the scoop. We do have to exile our deck when we cast Doomsday, so they've seen that we're the crazy Grixis creature version. Anything I put up here is not really a juke, it's just sort of, I also have creatures. According to Sam's published guide, this sideboard plan looks very similar to the last round, except this deck doesn't really care about Unlicensed Hearths. We have our Blasts, all of them, and Brazen Borrower and the Opposition Agents to mess with their mana development, and just not interested in Force of Will. It's incredible to me that we're boarding out Force of Will in this combo deck. Like, one of the strengths of Doomsday is that you're a Force of Will combo deck, and it's just really cool that this build of the deck has this angle to it. And Strix not that important either. Let's go. My hand looks pretty good. I'm in for it. These lands and brainstorms. The Wasteland makes me in fact pretty confident they're not just Jeskai control. Like, they are Sharkstill or doing something unique here. But Brainstorm plus EI, good stuff. Narset's going to be annoying. Either way, they're both Narset decks. I'm going to Brainstorm now before they're representing Hull Breacher. If this is my deck, then that's not a card I play. But I still don't want to mess with it. Red Blast, you're cool. Yeah, I can fetch Volcanic Island, which enables Expressive Iteration, but does not enable Doomsday. I could fetch Badlands, but that doesn't Ponder right now, which is what I'm fetching for in the first place. I could just delay Doomsday for a turn. I think I want to do that. Plus Dark Ritual's a card in my deck. I could just draw it. Oh, Taiga. Okay, this is 4C again. This is not Jeskai at all. They just tricked me by not having their mana. Got it. And there is Narset. Pain in my ass. But Expressive Iteration is in the deck. And in the hand. That's what I was going for. Narset revealing Ponder. Oh, I could just kill Narset. That's probably better. I'm going to blast Narset. And then cast Murktide Regent. I was about to say Brainstorm, then realized that I have this other thing I can do. I'm going to get another Underground Sea. I'm just working my way towards Doomsday, and Badlands doesn't cast Murktide. Here we go. Other half of the deck. Deploy. Force pitching the Ponder we saw. Okay. Let's hope the last two cards in their hand aren't Land, Minsk, and Boo. Aggressive Iteration. Okay. That's not Land, Minsk, and Boo. At least not this turn. On the Misty Rainforest off their EI. Here's my Cavern. I could Brainstorm, try to cast Doomsday this turn, but I think I'd rather EI and build that slow value. It does feel good when we get into these grindy situations. Have a card like a Iteration. Wow, Force of Will on my Iteration. Pitching Force of Will. I'm going to Brainstorm in response. I did find the Daze, but that's not a card that my deck cares about. I put back Cavern, and this is actually really tough. I want the Daze in case they jam Minsk and Boo next turn from their one-card hand. But also, I want to cast Ponder this turn, and I do want Doomsday around in the mix somewhere. But I need this Volcanic Island to cast the Doomsday. Maybe I'll just put Doomsday on top, play my land, and pass without pondering. Cracking a fetch land immediately. Slam that Minsk directly into my Daze, please. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, a tapped Mystic Sanctuary. Awkward. Taiga deck. Old Taiga King. Will never financially recover from that tapped Mystic Sanctuary. Ponder, let's go. Ooh. This is a little awkward because I'm never casting this Doomsday. Do I think that Opposition Agent can win this game for me? I'm going to try this. Let's go. My opponent is clearly a little bit struggling on mana right now, and Oppo Agent plus Daze can keep Minsk and Boo out of play. And I have Pyroblast on top if they play a Planeswalker this turn. That, okay. Easy money. Bounce my Volcanic Island. Nice. That is what we were playing towards, and I'm going to just Oppo Agent now and start attacking. I'm not going to get clever with trying to wait for a fetch land. Unfortunately, I'm drawing this Cavern of Souls next, which is not helpful at all. But they are running out of resources over there. Source of Plowshares. Okay. Yep. Still in the deck. I'm blasting that. They're over there spinning their wheels. I don't want to give you a Brainstorm. I'm going to Cavern on Wizard. Just set up for this Doomsday down the road. If they Wasteland this, Doomsday can pick it back up from the graveyard anyway. We found a fetch land. One card left. Is it Minsk and Boo? Please don't be. On deck, cards that are good. That is a good card, but I'd like to cast my Doomsday, please. Another fetch land. Oppo Agent would have been great. Okay, I can Doomsday with Pyroblast protection here against my opponent's one-card hand. Let's go. And I think I want the Underground Sea because red and black mana don't really matter post Doomsday. Blue tends to be the Doomsday pile. Let's see a hardcast Force of Will here that I can Pyroblast into the trash. There was already 5 mana there, but all right, the top of your deck versus my Doomsday pile. Dual decks. Expressive Iteration is going to be involved in this one. Oracle is the easy one. I have 6 mana. I can draw for turn. EI. 4 cards left. EI, 2 cards left. EI, 0 cards left. I could just EI. Oh. Expressive Iteration. Expressive Iteration. Do I want a land in the pile? Probably want like Pyroblast and Island. If I draw for turn and it's EI, then I can EI into Pyroblast, EI again, hit Island, Oracle. And that is 1-2 for the EI, 1-2 for the second EI, make the land drop, then 1-2 for Oracle with Pyroblast still chilling. I think I like that. Yeah, let's go. Oracle on the bottom. I need the first EI to find EI Pyroblast. Yes, okay. Go, don't kill me. Life from the Loam targeted, Misty. Okay, just a bunch of lands. Okay. In that case, we win. There was no Wasteland involved. If I counted correctly, And I hope I did. Oh, I did not count that I didn't have enough red sources. So the Pyroblast was actually completely irrelevant. Okay. I'm going to put mountain or island in my hand in this case. Pyroblast on the bottom. Exile EI. Then play island. Play EI. Yeah, that island should have been a volcanic island. That was my punt here. But I'm going to go unpunished because that's how we do. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what just happened? Oh, EI has to put a card on the bottom? Oh, I've never resolved Expressive Iteration with only 2 cards in my deck, and I just clicked Oracle to the bottom. So this gives my opponent a draw step that they should not have. Put 1 into your hand, put 1 on the bottom, and exile 1 of them. Does it happen in that order? Does EI even work with 2 cards? Or do I have to, like, decline? Huh. Fascinating. Maybe that second one was supposed to be Ponder? Son of a B. Yeah, if I had stacked my volcanic island, I could Pyroblast this. Yeah, was there a button to decline that, or does it just not even work? Interesting. And once again, if this was Pyroblast, it wouldn't even matter. Or if this was Volcanic Island. Okay, they still need to come up with, like, Endurance. They chose not to shuffle. Hate that for me. They can beat Dress Down. But they chose not to shuffle into another Ponder. Okay. I know their hand right now is 2 fetch lands. Chose to shuffle this one. They do have green for Endurance. Oh, God. All right, they had to tap out of green for Endurance on that. I love creating drama where there doesn't need to be drama. Found Brainstorm. Fetch land. Their hand is Brainstorm fetch land right now. Cracking a fetch. Did not get a second green source, so I don't need to... They have to find in their... Yeah, they have to Endurance plus green card. They can't just cast it anymore. But if they Endurance, Doomsday goes back into my deck, and then I can just Doomsday again. Alright, let's see if this works. I can beat Dress Down here. Yep, that doesn't work. Cannot be countered. Okay. Unpunished, but yeah, interesting. I imagine Sam's article probably covers that, if that's a real thing. I'm going to look that up in between rounds to make sure I know what's going on. Usually Magic cards do resolve in the order that the effects are written. So put 1 in your hand, put 1 on the bottom, and exile 1. Even if that was true, I knew their hand was just 2 lands, and I could have put the Oracle in my hand, Pyroblast on the bottom, and just 1 with a 1-card deck off 2 Devotion, because I know they can't kill my Oracle. Wild. Okay, let's go. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7-Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7-Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7-Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7-Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. The ban list update dropped in real time between last round and this round, and Legacy, untouched, no changes. Is it Delver's fine? I'll make a separate video with my thoughts on that. That'll release sooner. Maybe I'll put my first short on the channel. But basically, they said the Delver win rate is 52% in non-mirror matches, and it's only 9% of the metagame, which is contrary to everything that anyone actually plays Legacy knows. And also they said Leyline Binding and Ledger Shredder are exciting new printings that shake up the metagame. Let me tell you where Ledger Shredder goes. Into Expressive Iteration decks. Let me tell you about Leyline Binding. Ever seen Wasteland? You know what Wasteland is? Have you ever read that card? And you know what deck plays it? The EI decks. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that in this league. I am on the draw against a Yorion deck with turn 1 Dark Ritual. Doomsday. I'm going to keep. This is ugly if they're not Death and Taxes, but I'm down to clown if they are. Not Death and Taxes confirmed. Birds of Paradise, okay. Still just gonna grip it and rip it here. Like, if they have the force, it's a 2 for 2. If they don't, I get to do Doomsday stuff. All right, we're doing Doomsday stuff. Oracle, Cavern, get those in the pile. I would like to make a pile that doesn't lose to Endurance against this particular deck. But does that just become Strix? Take it super slow? Or Ponder can shortcut at one point. So Strix, Ponder. Oh wait, the Doomsday will be in my graveyard anyway, so I will lose to Endurance all the same if I don't put a Force of Will in the stack. Cavern, Oracle, Force of Will. Brainstorm can get those cards into my hand. I do have blue cards kicking around in large quantities. And Pyroblast, what does this stack look like? I even have lands in my hand and a fetch land. I could do a true value Brainstorm, put a land back in, fetch, shuffle. Then I don't know what order my cards are in anymore. But my plan is to empty my deck anyway. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I kind of like this pile. Gives me protection from Endurance and from Dress Down and from counterplay. Cavern on the bottom, Oracle under it, Force of Will, Pyroblast, Brainstorm. All right, go. I don't lose to Wasteland. I got plenty of mana kicking around in this pile. Prismatic Vista. A Narset would slow me down pretty bad here, if that's a thing they do. Burrow, I don't care about at all. Finding Prismatic Vista, sure. I think I want to Brainstorm. I want to make sure Brainstorm resolves before I play Scalding Tarn, though. Okay, put back Underground Sea and Scalding Tarn. And Volcanic Island. And there's 3 cards in my deck now. They're all lands. The fetch will clear one of them. And I have Force Blue card. This is a slow win, but it's a stable one. Really don't want to have to figure out Minsk and Boo here. Zenith for 3. That seems like it's going to be a problem for me. Is that like Leovold? What does that even get? Whatever, force it. I'm going to fetch now, get my shuffle going at the Volcanic Island. I can cast Murktide Regent right now. Is that even good? I could also... I don't have Force of Will anymore, so I lose to Endurance anyway. I don't want to lose to Swords to Plowshares. Oh wait, Murktide means I don't lose to Endurance. Holy moly. And Murktide Regent. Now I don't lose to Endurance. I have a true 0-card library and graveyard. I can Pyroblast to Dress Down. They just put Yorion in hand? Sure. Wow, Murktide Regent as exile your own graveyard. I'm sure that was in the article. I don't mean to sound disrespectful or glib. I literally tweeted that I was recording this deck and tagged Sam, and she messaged me and was like, hey, I wrote an article while I was already in the middle of round 1, so I did not have time to do my homework. But yeah, Murktide Regent clearing your graveyard. Just counter hate for Endurance. Good shit. Alrighty. This is 3 4-color control matchups in a row. I am familiar with the sideboard plan at this point. Hearse. Blast. Blast. Oppo. And Force of Will. Fatal Push. I mean, they're the Zenith version where Fatal Push might be better. That's interesting. I'll give that some thought in a second here. Do I want to leave a Fatal Push in and cut a Baleful Strix? What cards am I worried about coming out of their Zenith? Like, Endurance is kind of whatever. Leovold gets hit by all my Pyroblasts. I could bring in Brazen Borrower over the last Strix. Then I'm not very good at drawing cards. But I am better at answering random crap out of a Zenith. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Brazen Borrower, join the fun here. And let's do it. On the draw, I have Dark Ritual Doomsday, which is good. I'm relying on this Ponder to find me the black source, but yeah, I'm going to keep. And a Soft Wasteland. Okay, I like a Zenith for Arbor instead of something scarier later down the road. Another Ritual. Let's find a black source. Found a black source. And now I can Pyroblast the Force of Will also. Abundant Growth, you got it. Growing Ponder. Fetching Underground Sea, and let's go. And I have a second Dark Ritual for a second Doomsday. I could just refire these till I'm happy. Force pitching Coatl. I think I'd rather just resolve this. Like, I could have waited a turn, reset it, and Dark Ritual Doomsday again. Oh, cool. Do they have multiple counterspells? Oh, they do. Force pitching Coatl. Oh, they had 3 Coatls. Force pitching Coatl. Cast Coatl. Cantrip into Force pitching Coatl. Cool. All right, 1 card left, and I can Dark Ritual Doomsday again next turn. Don't play Minsc and Boo with your 1 card in hand. Just put Yorion in your hand and pass the turn. No. Uh-oh. What is... Yeah, it is Leovold. That is the card that I thought they would be using to do what they want to do here. Days right on time. Wise guy. All right, Dark Ritual Doomsday. This puts me to 9. They can attack for 5 twice. So I have to, like, EI through the whole pile. Is this even possible without Lotus Petal? Oh, I guess I just put Red Blast in the pile, kill Leovold. But they have Karakas that can save it. Okay. Cavern and Oracle are go in the pile. Aggressive Iteration and this Volcanic Island Pyroblast. So I EI into Volcanic Island Pyroblast and then win on the following turn. Okay, so I draw EI. EI Pyroblast Cavern or Pyroblast Volk. Shoot Leovold. They replay it. And then I can Oracle with a 1-card deck and hope that's good enough. That's what I have to do. I don't have 2 turns to operate here. Cavern, Oracle, Pyroblast, Volcanic Island, Expressive Iteration. And go. They're going to attack me to 4. Then I blast Leo. I do have Daze in between here, but Daze actually doesn't help this turn because I need all 3 of my mana next turn. Let's put Yorion in hand pass. Yorion in hand and pass. Yes, that taps them out of Karakas as well, so I can actually straight up kill the Leo. And Daze does work now. If they drew Force, I can Daze their spell. Oh, messing up my pile with Surgical. Huh. That's pretty annoying. I could Daze it, but then I lose the EI. Alright, I guess this just happens. EI and Pyroblast on top of the deck. 2 out of 5 still get it done. I guess if I draw EI, then the Surgical has to be around too. EI? Oh, drew the Cavern. Okay, we lose. That's so annoying. Every card in their hand, every part of the Buffalo was used there. Maybe I'm supposed to just counter... Am I supposed to Daze the Doomsday? Or the Surgical? But then my play doesn't work anyway. Yeah, no, I was dead there. Alright, fine. I think my plan is the same. That was really close, and they needed every card to be perfect to survive it. Just going back in. On the play, 2 Doomsdays and the Oracle in hand with nowhere to go. I'm going to mulligan this one. Turn 1 Doomsday. Keep. I think I'll send this basic island to the bottom of the deck. Let's party. Bang. Okay, we're in there. Cavern. Oracle. I need to put another land in the pile. My basic island. I've learned from Max to put that in the pile. Cavern, Oracle, basic island. I can draw the basic island, cast Brainstorm, then fetch to find it. Is that even good? I'm not sure. Do I want Pyroblast? Do I want Force of Will? They don't have a Force of Will that they would have cast it. I think I should take my time. Oh, I don't have Force of Will in my deck. Right. I would need Pyroblast, Volcanic Island. This doesn't accelerate the pile at all, but I am holding Brainstorm, which does it 1 turn faster. Just look at this pile for a second. This is a lot of lands. It does turn on the fetch land, so Brainstorm and fetch land each send a card. Start with 5. Draw step, I have 4. Brainstorm, I have 3. Fetch land, I have 2. And this beats both. Does this beat Endurance? I'll have Doomsday, Dark Ritual, Fetch land, and 3 mana. That is... Oh, and Brainstorm. So I can play around Endurance with Murktide. Yeah, I'm in for this pile. Cavern, Oracle, Volcanic Island. I guess I put the Pyroblast on top. And then pass. Alright, let's go. Turn 1 Doomsday. Did I build the pile correctly? I don't lose to Wasteland. Surgical doesn't matter. I can beat Endurance. I can wade through Pyroblast. Under. I did build to beat Force of Will. I beat it slowly by just playing Cavern, and I could Brainstorm now, guarantee that that actually happens. Brainstorm. Force of Negation. Oh my god, Force of Negation specifically. That messes up my Murktide. So I guess I will Pyroblast this then. I have 3 cards in my deck, so this Brainstorm sees every card that's left. And I put back Cavern and Island. Then next turn I play Island Murktide, and then the turn after that Cavern Oracle, and this beats everything except Dress Down. Or I guess Thoughtseize. Would lose to Thoughtseize. Oh, Force of Negation. Like Force of Will I would have just let resolve and counter my Brainstorm. Wild. Brainstorm. And the Murktide Endurance Installation. Here's that, even if it's countered. I guess if they counter it, that's a card in my graveyard for Endurance. Yeah, maybe this like Murktide plan isn't even good. Swords of Plowshares, sure. I think they need like Meddling Mage or Dress Down here. Or Wasteland plus Endurance. But then they'd also need to remove the Oracle. Right. They have to kill the Oracle and Endurance me for 1 card. Writing's on the wall, though. They couldn't beat the Cavern Oracle. Okay, another one on the board. Let's go. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw in round 4 with kind of a stress test for the deck. I could play Mystic Sanctuary tapped, and then, I was about to say fetch Badlands, which lets me put Strix into EI over the next 2 turns, but Flooded Strand doesn't fetch Badlands. I think I still keep this hand. Like, I got cantrips and stuff to do, but the Mystic Sanctuary in the opener is awkward. Leyline of the Void. Alright, Leyline just got even more awkward. Or Mystic Sanctuary just got even more awkward. Must be playing against one of these newfangled black decks with Opposition Agent in them. Not cool, by the way. But we are on the version of this deck that is not Ice Cold to Opposition Agent. Rotting Regisaur. Okay, this is this version. Yikes. There's more. 1 card left in hand. Is it fucking Sheoldred? Yeah, it is. Why wouldn't it be? Let's go. At least Baleful Strix can resist Sheoldred a little bit. I'm going to put Mystic Sanctuary into play tapped, because that's the best that's going to be. And then I'll put my Death Touch creature in front of Sheoldred and try to find a Fatal Push before it's too late. But guess what you can't do when your opponent has Sheoldred in play? It's draw a whole lot of cards. It's fine. Underground Sea and cast Strix. Oh, I did draw the land that let me cast, or let me fetch Badlands there, so I messed that up. Thoughtseize, okay. Nothing that indicates Doomsday in this hand. I'm just some Grixis mid-range deck. They're going to take one of the EIs. They took Brainstorm. Do you know that I'm at 9 and Brainstorm deals 6 to me? Days, right on time. Okay, I'm going to have to fetch a red source, and then I can hit Fatal Push this turn off EI. Dark Ritual Daze Young Peasy. I don't want Dark Ritual to be revealed to my opponent. How can I get Revolt next turn? So I'll put Daze in my hand, Dark Ritual on the bottom, exile Young P, and just pass. Like, Dark Ritual gives away that I'm doing something different, which I may or may not be doing in the next game anyway. All right, we get another shot at Fatal Push plus Fetch Land. There's Fatal Push. How do I get a permanent out of play this turn? Okay, I put Fatal Push in my hand, Doomsday on the bottom, exile Dark Ritual, and then I cast Dark Ritual and daze it. Okay, cast Dark Ritual, daze my Dark Ritual, picking up Underground Sea, not able to pay, and then now a permanent has left the battlefield. It'll push Sholdred, and now I have to deal 24 points of damage with this Baleful Strix. Easy game. Let's go. I do have Daze and Force of Will backing me up here, but tall order. These Murktide Regents not gonna be players versus this Leyline. Frothy Voidwalker. Guess I have to force that because it kills me immediately. All right, deck. Really sad my Young Pyromancer's out of the deck now. That's probably my best card. These 3 lands are not what I want. Shuffle up. Found one anyway. At the Legacy Pit Open, I did watch Sam Dark Ritual out a 3/3 Murktide versus a Leyline. That was pretty funny. Oh no, that City of Traders means my Daze sucks ass. Oh. I'm a black mana short. Do I have to be? Okay, hold up. Fetch, please don't opposition agent me. Put Underground Sea into play. And then I still have my land up for the turn. I can go black, Pyroblast my Strix, daze it, pick up Underground Sea, replay Underground Sea, Doomsday. And I'm at 1 life. Okay, float black. And then Pyroblast, Baleful Strix. Daze my Pyroblast, picking up Underground Sea. Not gonna pay. Play my land for turn, Doomsday. I'm at 1. Okay, Expressive Iteration definitely in the pile. Baleful Strix in the pile. Cavern. Oracle. Can't fetch land here. Can't force anymore because I'm at 1. Do I just put the other Fatal Push in the pile in case they have some stupid creature? That doesn't help though. Yeah, Baleful Strix. I guess Fatal Push answers specifically the Voidwalker. Let's examine this pile. I draw EI for turn. Cast EI. Put Fatal Push in my hand. Baleful Strix in exile. Cast Baleful Strix. Draw the other card. Then they have to get through 2 Baleful Strixes and deal 1 to me. Through a removal spell. Yeah, I'm in. Cavern. Oracle. Push. Strix. EI. Okay, go. I lose to Sholdred. I can beat Voidwalker. I don't know if this build even has the Helm combo, but if it does, I lose to that. Red, blue, Expressive Iteration. Fatal Push in my hand. Thassa's Oracle on the bottom. Exile Baleful Strix. 2 cards left in my deck. Baleful Strix. 1 card left in my deck. Drawing Cavern of Souls right now. Okay, I don't think I want to play Cavern. I guess if they Hymn to Tarak me, that's annoying, but Hymn to Tarak doesn't actually beat me. Cavern on Merfolk. And I'm going to pass the turn. They have to deal 1 to me somehow, or combo kill me. Leaving back both Strixes so I don't die to end step Oppo Agent untap removal spell. Attacking for 1 here is nonsense. Oh yeah. Got that beat. Played a Swamp. Without floating any mana, that seems unlikely they're going to cast a spell here. And they are passing the turn. And I'm casting Thassa's Oracle uncounterably with no cards in my deck. Triggers on the stack. Heroic game. Oh, hell yeah. Glad this one's on camera. There were a lot of exciting plays there. Dazing my own spell twice. Winning a game where you daze your own spell twice is a good one to have on the record. Okay, the sideboard guide does not include this deck. And that's okay. We can figure it out. I like Rough Tumble. That hits Opposition Agent. It hits Dathi Voidwalker. Does not hit Rotting Regisaur. Fatal Push looks pretty important here. That's my out to Sheoldred. Brazen Borrower, also good here. I want all my counter magic. The whole Doomsday half of the deck's kind of dicey because of Position Agent, but also that's how we won. And I'm not trying to be results oriented here, but just having, like, they have a lot of things that mess up this combo, but if they don't actually do it, then who cares? I think Murktide is a lot worse, and I'm going to cut Mystic Sanctuary. 19 lands is plenty, and a turn 0 Leyline messes up Murktide and Sanctuary in big ways. Murktide's still blue for force, so I don't want to go too low on that. Meltdown. This build doesn't play Chalice, at least to my knowledge. At least the published versions don't. They do have Chrome Mox. I honestly don't know if they're a Saga deck. I don't know if that matters. I'm going to go in like this. I think I'm actually pretty excited about this hand. I'm going to keep it. There's nothing that gets bricked by Graveyard Hate. I can kill creatures pretty reliably. Like, that doesn't even matter that much. I can cast Ponder here. Baleful Strix, Rough Tumble, Brainstorm. Yeah, all these cards are good. I'll save the Rough Tumble for later and put Brainstorm, Baleful Strix in my hand. Because next turn, I can fetch, and then in response to the fetch, Fatal Push, because permanent has left the battlefield. It doesn't have to be gone for very long. Thoughtseize, I have 2 pushes, don't even care. If they Thoughtseize me twice, I'll be a little bumped out. But I have the Oppo agent answered, and they did not have Graveyard Hate this game, so this Murktide is a threat. Really interesting to see if they attack my pushes. They did attack the pushes. They could Dark Ritual out a second Oppo here, but I don't even... I mean, I do care, but it's a fetch, hold priority, Fatal Push. Do you have another one? Nope. We're in business, team. Cleared that out. We're pulling out all the tricks, like all the little tricky little stack interaction, dazing your own spell. This is a great match. Here's Sheoldred. I'm going to Brainstorm in response so I don't take 6 damage and might hit Daze or Force. Found the Force and the Young Peasy. That's my guy. That is exactly what I want in my life. If I put back the extra land and Murktide, and I pitch Baleful Strix to counter this. Pitching Strix. Now I get to slam Murktide. Full-size Murkfather. And I am just gonna fetch now before they draw an opposition agent. Do I need to round out my colors, or is 1 red enough? I'll just grab Underground Sea. In case I need to Brainstorm in response to something, I want bad lands, but I also want to be able to cast my spell if they like respond with another Sheoldred. Thoughtseize. Can hide the good stuff at least. There they go. Enjoy that land. Okay, is your last card in hand Sheoldred? Or like Liliana of the Veil? Rotting Regisaur. Let's race. I'm dead in 2 hits. I could just leave back Murktide. Oh, they're dead in 2 hits as well. Yeah. The Murktide does not block. Only here for bashing. I can drop my Young Peasy in. This insulates me from Edict effects. And I'm drawing Brainstorm next turn, which can start producing a string of blockers that make Rotting Regisaur a joke. Oh yeah. Dino Boy's dead to Dragon Boy. Put wings on it and it automatically gets better. That match was incredible. On to the last round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. On the draw in the final round, positive records locked. We got the bread and butter 4-1 on the line. Again, Mystic Sanctuary's in my hand. Double Dark Ritual, not pretty, but I do like this pair of Ponders, and I have the Ritual to get things rolling, and Daze to protect. Blue to Delta strategy. It's the mirror match. It's not the mirror match. That's a Shuko. This is Cephalid Breakfast. Double Days business. Underground Sea Ponder. My opponent knows I'm a combo deck now too. Okay, I do want this Force of Will. I do not want the third Dark Ritual, so I'll put the fetch land in between them. Days plus Force. Hopefully will get me through this turn. Like if they just go land drop Illusionist, Days is on. If they have one protection spell, Force is on. If they have two protection spells, we're dead. And this is the honest 60 card version of Cephalid Breakfast, not doing any of that URM business. Please just read this as a busted combo deck and try to go for it unprotected. And Ad Nauseam Tendrils, you have nothing to fear. Tap out for Illusionist, Stoneforge Mystic. Don't really want to play against that either, but I'm going to let it resolve. Because I'm literally dead to a 2-drop creature on board. They can go search up Kaldra here, which I do have removal spells in my deck. I'm going to ponder before I shuffle. I know I'm going to be looking at that Dark Ritual again, but I might also be looking at Fatal Push and Doomsday. Sucks I don't get both of them. If I Doomsday here, oh man, I wish that was Brainstorm. If I Doomsday, I go to 9, and my opponent puts in Kaldra, puts me to 4. Can I do it in one turn? Or do I have to take this turn off to Fatal Push? Wow, that sucks. Should have forced the Stoneforge, who knew? If I fetch Badlands and cast Doomsday, yeah, without Lotus Petals in the deck, I don't think this is a thing I can do. Damn. I'm gonna have to send this Doomsday away just to be alive. I don't feel good about this. I'm gonna get the Badlands, make sure Expressive Iteration is on if I draw it. Ooh, maybe... Oh, I can't get Volcanic Island here. Yeah, so there's 3 pinch points there. It's, do I want to be able to daze? I can't... Between daze twice, Fatal Push, and cast EI if I draw it, I only get 2 of the 3. Alright, we get to daze an Illusionist here. Very happy with that exchange. They do have Force. Pitching Step Through. I'm going to force pitching Daze. The Illusionist is gone. Doomsday off the top. Let's go. Ponder. Could still have Doomsday off the top. Ponder. Find me the D-Day. Oh, that's a shuffle. 2 lands and Oracle, not what I'm looking for. Shuffle up Doomsday. Alright, found a land. I can Doomsday. Or, nope. I have Dark Ritual in my hand, not Doomsday. I saw the 3rd black and was like, yep, I can Doomsday next turn. But I cannot. Stoneforge Mystic. Uh-oh. That's a problem. That Kaldra was locked in their hand, but now it's unlocked. Now I have more mana. I might be able to win on a single turn pass, which I couldn't do on turn 2, but I can probably do on turn 4. If I have the Doomsday, of course. There's another Fatal Push I could draw here as well. Come on, Ponder. Murktide Regent. So close. But Badlands can't cast that card. I gotta shuffle this. Doomsday. My life is pain. Yeah, just a little awkward, the Badlands. Facilitating the Fatal Push earlier, but now just falling apart, and I don't think I can answer a Kaldra in my deck. Nope. Only way to answer Kaldra is to beat it with Doomsday. Oh, and equipping 2 Shukos to it. That's so sick. Taking 7 instead of 6. Or instead of 5. Nasty. I got a little Doomsday flooded. Might have had a problem with that early one. I'm gonna... Can I win? If I play Underground Sea, pass the turn, take 8, go to 3. If I Brainstorm into Doomsday and another cantrip with 5 mana, or I guess it's way more than 5 mana if I count Dark Rituals. Yeah, if I Brainstorm into Doomsday and another cantrip, I might be able to win all in one turn. Just moving Shukos around. Have I done anything that indicates I'm Doomsday? No, I just look like Grixis control. The Daze is suspicious. Alright, deck Brainstorm. Brainstorm. Ah, you wise guy. Alright. I am dead. I needed Brainstorm on top of that Doomsday. Because if I drew Brainstorm, nope, I can't Mystic Sanctuary or in between the Brainstorm and like put Ponder on top. Okay, a little late on the Doomsday. Dark Ritual flooded. Okay, against a graveyard combo deck that's also Stoneblade. Pyroblast I want. Brazen Borrower I want. Opposition Agent I want. Fatal Push I want. Am I just not Doomsday? I guess is the next question. There is like this complete Mad Lad 13 card sideboard here. And I could just become Grixis Control, which is something I mentioned in the deck tech, but never actually executed on. What does that package look like? Doomsdays and the Oracle and the Rituals, that's 9. Cavern does still cast things, but it's much worse, and 19 lands is plenty to play a deck like this. Cavern on Human, actually pretty insane. Are there any like rogues? There's like no creature types that overlap in this whole deck. There's a Merfolk Wizard, a bird, a dragon, and a human rogue. Can't double touch anything. Shame. Daze is effective, but also, now that I have all the Red Blast and Fatal Push, I can back off it a little bit. Meltdown kills all the Shukos, and this is usually an Aether Vial deck. Chill on Daze a bit, and Baleful Strix is probably not very good if I'm playing against either a combo deck or Cauldra. Alright, I'm doing it. The 0 Doomsday. Honestly, if I had thought about it, I would have like Dark Ritual to Doomsday. No, I wouldn't have done that because then they see my whole deck. Yeah, they may play this whole match never knowing that I was a Doomsday deck. This hand looks pretty great. I'm going to keep it. This is kind of exactly what I signed up for. I don't expect Wasteland out of this opponent. I would like to lead on Volcanic Island and Ponder. My black source is more important if they do answer one of my lands. There's Murktide Regent. Now I have a plan to actually win the game on top of all these plans to not die. There's Shuko. Okay. I can Fatal Push a creature and Pyroblast, or Illusionist is a blue creature, so I can Fatal Push and Pyroblast it if they just go for that. If they pivot onto Stoneforge, I have a pile of Fatal Pushes ready. I'm gonna fetch in my upkeep. I don't want that basic island. I will grab the Badlands here. Aggressive Iteration, that's a cool one. Do I commit the Unlicensed Hearse? I think so. That breaks up the combo, so even if they do punch through 2 pieces of interaction, I still have something in play. This does just hang it out there for a Prismatic Ending to clear up. But they do have to have that. Illusionist. Do I want to Pyroblast now or Fatal Push? I guess they're pretty convinced they can just beat Hearse, which maybe they can, I don't know. I think countering if it's blue is more effective because Fatal Push hits Stoneforge Mystic, where this other stuff doesn't. I don't have any Surgicals in my deck, so I'm just going to exile these things now. Blue, red. Aggressive Iteration. I'm going to put Hearse in my hand, bottom Strix, exile Brainstorm, and then play Brainstorm off this basic. Another Pyroblast, another land. Murktide should come down next turn. I don't think I need 3 Fatal Pushes in my hand. And pass the turn. Ponder. I would like to Pyroblast that, but if that gets countered and they just go Land Illusionist, you're dead. I am not interested in playing that game. I'm going to just be careful here. Mystic Sanctuary's on with my Delta. Ponder did not shuffle. And we're in Hardcast Narcomoeba mode. Sure. That's a 2/1 creature with Shuko, which they did not equip. Fascinating. Play my land. That gets me Murktide Regent. I could Murktide, second Curse, and pass. My top card is Fatal Push. Do I want a third one of those? If I fetch now, put EI on top. Murktide is 1 smaller, but I'm drawing EI. I'm interested in that. Mystic Sanctuary, put Expressive Iteration on top. Then Murktide. And do I need a second Hearse in play? I don't think so. I think I'd rather hold up this wall of interaction. Another illusionist. I think I want to use the fatal pushes this time. So they get Shuko, then I'll fatal push it. They get another mill. They get to mill 6 here, which just feeds my hearse, which is why I let it get into play. And I can use Pyroblast on a counterspell if I so desire. And that still holds a fatal push for the Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, I can't counter that one. I can fatal push, or I think at this point I want to Pyroblast the Illusionist, because fatal push is still better against Stoneforge Mystic, which is the way I lose this game now. Thassa's Oracle, Cabal Therapy just hit the graveyard. If I exile the Oracle, I don't know how many of them they actually play. Also had Force of Will, pitching Meddling Mage. Let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Fatal push the Cephalid Illusionist. Illusionist is gone. I'm going to Hearse to exile Thassa's Oracle and Cabal Therapy. And then I'm going to let this stack clear. I guess I should have let it get down to the Shuko in case this Illusionist flips something else. Yeah, that could have been done slightly better. Yeah, I could have hit Narcomoeba and Cabal Therapy and dealt with the Oracle next turn. Alright. Now I have to beat this extra Narcomoeba. 2-1 Narcomoeba. Look out. I had a brief moment of brain chemicals where I was like, oh, sick, EI. Then I remembered I put it there. Just good stuff. Here's EI. Ooh, consume and push. We're going to put push in my hand. Land on the bottom. Exile consume. I'm going to consume, which kills the Shuko. Not sure if that matters, but... Oh yeah, it takes a combo piece out of play. So it matters a lot. Back you for 6. And I'm holding up Unlicensed Hearse going into the next turn. Next turn, all graveyards are gone. Murktide grows another 4 points because every card in my graveyard's a spell. So they have to assemble the whole combo and beat Hearse. And there may or may not be Oracles left in their deck or enough Narcomoebas to combo. I even have another Fatal Push for a Stoneforge Mystic if that shows up. Oh no, what is this 4-mana spell? They just pivot into like Jace the Mind Sculptor. I'm going to lose my shit. I'm going to exile Illusionist and Teferi. I'm just storing these under the Hearse. All graveyards are going to go in a second here. But making Hearse bigger is nice. Okay, I think they realized that after their attacks with Narcomoeba, they were about to take 10 from the Murko. Okay, that was sick. A lot of interaction. Having 8 1-mana point-and-click removal spells for their combo is nice. And I think the same deck, we're just not dooming. Handful of cantrips, just days for interaction. I am going to try to get something going here. It's a little scary to be in this position on the draw. Just don't turn one Shuko. Wall Therapy, okay. Resolves. Are you a genius? Are you just going to name Brainstorm and get me for 2? Going to name Force of Will. Unlicensed Hearse. Swing and a miss. Now I can Brainstorm to change the composition of my hand if I want to in response to another therapy. I think I want to save this Brainstorm. They've seen days and now they know about opposition agents, so I'm not getting any free money on that one. Uh-oh, they are a Saga deck. My Meltdown's in, right? Yeah, okay, good. Alright, Meltdown's in the deck. Nothing to worry about, folks. I am going to do kind of a suboptimal end-step Brainstorm here. I think Brazen Borrower is the worst card left in this hand. I could even just ponder into it if I want it. I do want Fatal Push. Also ponder, see what comes up here. EI, Mystic Sanctuary, Brazen Borrower. Those were a lot of good cards. I'm going to put the Borrower in my hand, just adding to the list of things that help me not die. Like Borrower, Fatal Push, clear the constructs. Oppo Agent keeps the tutor from paying out. In fact, I get their tutor. Shuko for me. They could just main phase, make a construct, and then immediately sack it to Ball Therapy and clear my Oppo agents. Does not appear to be the plan. That's good news. Do I want expressive iteration, or do I want to take a shuffle and try to find something more efficient? Because my hand is already full of answers to stuff. I am going to take that shuffle. Get Underground Sea, draw, Force of Will, paid out. They're going to make a construct. I'm going to get Badlands. Do I want Badlands? Or do I want Mystic Sanctuary online? I think I just want Badlands. Badlands, Oppo Agent. Let's get you into play right now where Daze is online. You're in there. They could plow on their turn. They've seen the Daze. They've not seen the Force. This shuts off Stoneforge Mystic and additional fetch lands on top of the Urza Saga Search. I am going to sink pretty hard into protecting this if I can. And if they're going to do anything to fight over Oppo Agent, it means they don't get to make a second construct, or they can just commit to letting me steal their search. Unfortunately, there's a Magic Online is programmed incorrectly. I should be able to see their hand right now because I control them. So we got Forces, Flusterstorms, 1 Daze, 1 Dread Return, 1 Cauldron Complete, 1 Oracle. Yeah, so they couldn't combo last game. I took their 1 Oracle. I would know more if I could see their hand. Shit's whack, but okay. Fetch lands are off. Stoneforge is off. I got a Wall of Protection up. They can flashback Cabal Therapy, and they know I have Brainstorm Daze, at least. They don't know about Fatal Push, Borrower Force, or the other Oppo. Oh no! Just crack your fetch land into what? Into my Oppo? Oh, this card. Sorry. We're gonna get a shame concession. No, just a whoops in the chat, and then we're playing it out. Okay. I'm hitting my land drop next turn. They were kind enough to include Underground Sea in their deck. Which... do I want to play it, or do I want to brainstorm, see if I end up with a shuffle? I'm going to brainstorm. Did not end up with a shuffle, so Underground Sea, easy put back. And I'm going to hide this other brainstorm. I just want to kind of tuck away cards that they know about from the Cabal Therapy in case they get any ideas of therapying me. I'm going to attack with Oppo. If they block, I can Fatal Push the other one and sweep their board. They seem aware of that interaction and not interested in paying into it. Right now, since I telegraphed it anyway, I'll flush out the removal spell and pass. Swords to Plowshares. I'm going to pitch Ponder to fight over this. Is that true? Does Flusterstorm get me? I have another one of these in my hand. No, I'm going to let this happen. It already took 2 cards off them, plus the Plow. Yeah, it was good for 3 cards and an attack for 3. Yeah, I'm okay with that, especially with the other copy in hand. But I hope they think they just cleared the way for a Stoneforge Mystic. I know there's a land on top, so I'm going to ponder into it here. Oh, many lands on top. I am not even upset about that. I have a lot of ways to spend mana right now, and I will continue developing. Nobody expects the second Oppo. Just jam Stoneforge. Jam it into play. Ponder, okay. They found the land. Stoneforge, Stoneforge, Stoneforge. Narcomoeba. Disappointing. I still get to ambush the construct in combat, and I have Daze up because they tapped out. Ambush Viper, hiss. And we saw 2 Shukos game 1, and there was only 1 in their deck when we searched, so good chance there's a Shuko in their hand right now. I gotta be careful when I Daze not to pick up their Underground Sea. Good thing it looks super different. Wall Therapy. I could just Daze this and not have to worry about it. I actually kind of like that. I don't like it, but I like having all of my cards available. I'm just going to replay the land and attack. I'm holding up Hardcast Force of Will or Force Pitch plus Brazen Bar or plus Fatal Push. Like if they've been dancing around just Shuko plus Illusionist in hand, I could actually lose to that. Oppo doesn't stop that from working. There you are. Resolves. I'm going to use Fatal Push for that. Fatal Push. This lets them mill for 3, which they lost their Cauldra, but also put Dread Return in the graveyard. I think we're due for this brainstorm. I'm through all the lands that I saw. Let's upgrade. Put back these extra lands and attack with Agent. There's no EI in my graveyard, which is what I'd really like to pick up. I'm just going to pass holding up Hardcast Force. And I can also put Fatal Push on top of my deck if I need to do that. All right, still hardcasted Narcos. Not pretty. There were only 2 in their deck when we saw the deck, and now they've played 2. So story checks out. The time to Mystic Sanctuary yet? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna just hit normal land drops and draw cards till I find EI. Play Strix here. It does give up on Hardcast Force unless I draw a land, which I easily did. Were you worried? Continue the opposition agent beatdowns. I haven't really had a good shot to put Shuko into play because I've been holding up Hardcast Force for so long, which is a shame because my opponent would be a whole turn off the clock here. There's the other Shuko. We knew that was there. All right, Shuking up the Narco. That can tangle with Oppo now. Stoneforge resolves. I don't think there's any equipment left in the deck, and you also don't have to search, do you? Yeah, you can just decline the search. Just a creature. I could Brazen Borrower and play Brazen Borrower, and that clears the board for a big attack. It makes them jump block with Stoneforge. I think that's good. Yeah, I'm in. Oh, they're actually dead if I pick up Fatal Push. Mystic Sanctuary. Target Fatal Push. Yes, put that on top. And then Brazen Borrow, Petty Theft the Narcomoeba. This is 7 damage coming at you, and that is your life total. Looks like I've got a 4-1 team. We got 4 cards in hand. Even if they force this, I can just decide if I even care. I could easily win the fight. I could also just let it happen. And the 0 Doomsday Grixis mid-range juke. 4-1. We had some of the coolest games that I've played in a long time in this league. That league against Mono Black. Put that one on my Hall of Fame plaque. And the power of this deck is undeniable. The Murktide Regent EI package with Mystic Sanctuary and Daze, obviously present in Legacy in a big way. Dark Ritual Doomsday, just sneaking a little combo package into the deck. There was that one game where we got Dark Ritual flooded and couldn't really find a Doomsday in time. But other than that, it's sort of never really punished. I also really like the play pattern of using Fatal Push and Strix and stuff to just cast Doomsday for 3 black lands, and you don't even need Dark Ritual, which is much harder to get to a winning board state in that spot in like the turbo lists. But obviously this isn't built to turbo, it's built to grind, and that's what we did. I'm happy with a 4-1 record. Be sure to check out Sam's article. I will have it linked in the video description. And yeah, this deck didn't get banned, so it's going to keep riding. This is a thing you can keep doing for a while. Sam, thank you for sharing the list with the world and the article with me early. King of the Depths, thank you for asking me to play this. It was a lot of fun. Max Dorshan, shout out. Your Doomsday help last week helped me make piles in a way that was more coherent this week. Everybody else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon and all the other links in the video description that help the channel, and I'll see you next time.